If your team is top of the league, smash the likes on this video. Buzzing, man. Absolutely buzzing. First time back here in ages. Listen, I love the World Cup, but there is nothing like Arsenal Football Club. Nothing like taking 3 points, staying top of the league. And look, we're going to be top of the league, but you get my point. Just, it's so important that we won today. And going 1-0 down in the manner that we did, having that annoyance of the VAR decision go against us just before half-time, it was starting to look like, difficult times. And I know there would have been people out there that were talking about Arsenal not being the same after the World Cup, hoping and praying that we fall off our perch. But no, this is a proper team, a proper manager, a proper team. And we smashed it today. There's not a lot of teams that are going to go in 1-0 down at half-time against West Ham and come out and dominate, have that much belief and go and win the game 3-1. Arsenal deserve respect. And look, tell me in the comments below right now, are you starting to believe? Are you starting to think that maybe we should be talking about a proper title challenge and all of that? And I know we're all reluctant. We don't want to look like idiots. I can imagine that if I'm saying that now, someone will clip it up at the end of the season if Arsenal fall away. But forget about all of that, man. We're fans. We're allowed to get excited. We're allowed to be wrong. So tell me, do you think we can make this happen? Can Arsenal mount a serious title challenge? Because on this evidence, I don't see any reason why not. We look like a really, really good team. We look well drilled. In truth, West Ham had no real threat, in my view. The penalty that they got, it was soft. I would accept, yes, it was a penalty. William Saliba, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but boy, that was a big one. I don't know what he was thinking, diving in like that, especially inside the box. He was so far away from pulling off a decent slide tackle there that I actually thought he didn't even make contact with a player. That was just, a weird moment from William Saliba. Other than that, he was fine. Gabriel was great. He was, in fact, it's funny, right? Because I always say that with Gabriel, you'll get some goals from him every season. I think in the last season, he was the top scoring defender. Even the season before that, top scoring defender in the Premier League. So he gets you goals, but he also sometimes costs you goals. But on balance, it's worth it. And really with Saliba, he doesn't get many goals, but he doesn't make many mistakes. Today, it was kind of the other way around because he did make the mistake. But listen, who cares? We did the business. And sometimes that's going to happen. You'll do something silly. You'll give away a penalty. It's about how the team responds. And today, there was massive focus on Eddie Nketiah, massive pressure on Eddie Nketiah, because ultimately, if we didn't score today, people would be talking about the fact that when we don't have enough up front. And I think that would have been a bit unfair on him because, let's face it, Gabriel Jesus, incredible player, loads of goal contributions. No one can say anything about him really to criticise him, but he doesn't get enough goals. That doesn't matter when he's making so much happen and he gets his assists and he makes such a difference to the team. But I think that Eddie Nketiah would have got some stick today for not being clinical, not being a goal scorer if we didn't score, and that would have been unfair. I am absolutely, above all, buzzing for him. Absolutely delighted for Eddie Nketiah that he managed to get on the score sheet today. And what a finish. What a finish. Martin Ødegaard, who I'll talk about later, got 2 assists today. But, these assists that he got, they weren't put on a plate for people. One of them was lucky for Saka, and the second one for Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah absolutely spun Kehrer for that goal. And he did it a few times in the game. It wasn't the only time. I think they didn't respect Eddie Nketiah enough. I think they thought that they could sort of get tight to him, bully him, muscle him, but he was not having any of that. Kehrer got tight on that occasion, and Nketiah spun him absolutely beautifully. One touch and then bang, absolutely clinical. And as I say, he was doing that all game. Even in the middle of the park, he was just on the front foot. He was direct. He wanted to turn and face up the defenders. And I thought he played really well overall. Showed his maturity in the closing stages of the game just to manage it out, not do anything silly, not getting overexcited. Brilliant performance from Nketiah. And listen, look, I always say this, right? For the Hale End graduates, I'm desperate to see them succeed. I'm more interested in seeing the Hale End graduates succeed in the first team than I am seeing Arsenal get big name money signings in. And yes, of course, we do need to sign someone because, look, if Nketiah gets injured, then our season really is screwed. But Nketiah has done really well. And one thing that was important to me today for Nketiah and for Arsenal is that we had to have a good day today because next we've got Brighton, then we've got Newcastle, then we've got Tottenham, then we've got Man United. That's on the table right at the moment in the Premier League. That's 7th, 2nd, 4th and 5th. These are all big, tough games that we're playing. So when you're playing West Ham at home, you have to go and win that game. And we did the business today, man. One of the key reasons we did the business was because of Martin Ødegaard. Listen, he was absolutely brilliant today. Not just on the ball, off the ball as well. How hard he worked. Honestly, I get tired watching him sometimes, man. I always say to people, when people talk about Ødegaard and say, oh, he doesn't create enough, he doesn't score enough, I always say to them, look, he never has a bad game because just watch him for 5 minutes. You remember those days when you had a player cam, right? Just watch Martin Ødegaard for 5 minutes and you'll realize he never has a bad game because off the ball, he is the leader of the press. He plays so well. He presses so intelligently. As soon as a player is about to control that ball, that's when he starts the press. He catches people off guard. He rushes people. He puts pressure and the whole team, it's like he's the switch. When he flicks that switch, the whole team press. They follow his lead. He's just absolutely brilliant. And today I thought he was my man of the match. Let me know who your man of the match is in the comments below. But he was my man of the match. And he got 2 assists as well. Whether they were the best assists in the world or whatever, I don't really care. He's always there, always asking for the ball. Perfect touch, crisp passer, sets the tone. Just love watching him play. I love his work ethic. The other person is Ben White. Ben White, you know what I loved was his little involvement in Eddie Nketiah's goal. Really, really simple, but he just sent 2 West Ham defenders the other way, opened up the space. An all-round game was brilliant today. And let me remind you, Ben White is not even a natural right back. He's a centre-back playing out of position. And look how well he's doing, not this game, but all season he's been doing that and playing so well. Absolutely buzzing. Catch my 5 at 5 tomorrow. And yeah, I'll have 5 things from this game you might not have noticed that I thought were things to talk about. Until next time, see you later. We are top of the league.